To the fifth quarter, sponsored by Bert, Ogden, Buick, GMC. I'm KJ Doyle. Now, we're in week 6 of high school football season, but our game of the week, Roma versus Port Isabel, a serious situation happened at the end of that game with one of the Port Isabel players. So we have been monitoring that situation. If you watched us on First and Goal, you saw Daniela Hernandez live on the field. We're going to check back in with Daniela Hernandez live on the field momentarily to hear more about what that situation has evolved into, and we also spoke to the Port Isabel head coach about what happened exactly with the player, and we got more information there. So we're going to get into all of that in just a moment here, but we are going to start with the highlights from our game of the week before we go to Daniela. So here it is, Roma versus Port Isabel. Port Isabel coming in undefeated, Roma just with one loss, looking to beat another unbeaten team on the season. Here, Elijah Garza, a great throw downfield to Elias Mejorado, who gets all the way down inside the 5-yard line for Roma. So they're looking to punch this one in for a touchdown, but a great punch out by the Port Isabel defense results in a fumble, and Port Isabel takes over. But on offense for Port Isabel, they fumble the snap, so Roma ends up taking over, and some trouble fumbling the football here. Port Isabel, a bad snap over the punter's head. He just has to jump on top of it. A bit of a scramble for the football. Either way, it's a Roma ball, and they would strike first as the touchdown goes in for the Gladiators. A big play for Roma to strike first in this football game, but the Tarpons able to strike back. It is their star running back, Luis Ramos, all the way in for the score. Port Isabel would dominate en route to the victory in the second half. But as we mentioned, right at the end of this game, a Port Isabel player down on the field. We're joined now by our Daniela Hernandez. Daniela obviously gave us some great information on what exactly went down at the end of this game earlier on First and Goal. What more can you tell us now?
KJ, it's a somber moment here at Gladiator Arena in Roma. There was just a minute left in the game when a player from Port Isabel got injured. Now, we do know he was on the field for about 15 minutes. After that, he was taken into a stretcher in a neck brace onto the ambulance and into going to a nearby hospital. Now, we do not know the name of the injured player, as head coach Tony Valley said he didn't want to release any information yet until he was able to get the parents' consent. But we were able to ask him, how the player is doing, and here's what he had to say.
He just took a hit, and we were able to stabilize him, and it looks like he's going to be okay, but I'm not a doctor, so they're taking him over to the hospital to see if he can be okay.
Now, KJ, I also want to mention something. While the injured player was on the field, players from Roma, they came over to the Port Isabel side of the field to unite in prayer. Now, we will continue to bring you information as it becomes available to you, as it becomes available to us on air and online at KRGB.com. Again, I do want to mention that we do not know the name of the injured player, but again, we will continue to bring information to you as it becomes available to us. Live at Gladiator Arena in Roma, Daniela Hernandez, Channel 5 Sports.
Thank you so much, Daniela. We appreciate your work covering this, obviously a sad moment at the end of our was supposed to be our game of the week this week, and we hope that this player for Port Isabel obviously has a good recovery. Obviously, as Daniela mentioned, it was being taken to a nearby hospital, and we hope to hear word of him doing well soon. I'm sure everybody in the Valley, all football fans and beyond, are all hoping for him to be all right, and we hope to bring you updates on that throughout the weekend here at Channel 5. Don't go anywhere. We are going to get into some of the highlights. We're going to continue here on the fifth quarter to show you games from around the Valley, obviously, with being mindful of the fact that the situation did happen tonight, and we hope to be able to continue the show here tonight with our football highlights while keeping in mind that we are feeling everybody is here at Channel 5 and around the Valley for that player on Port Isabel. So we'll be right back.
The fifth quarter is supported by Bert, Ogden, Buick, GMC.
Get ready for game day. Go the extra yard and drive a new Sierra 1500 for just $4.99 per month with the #1 team in Texas. Bert, Ogden, Buick, GMC in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UT RGV football.
Thanks for joining us here at our Austin studio, Quinn. Nice jersey.
Hey, you were a student here in Austin back when it was still weird, right?
Yes, in fact, I think we found a picture from back in my Texas days. Like a lot of guys, I used to think I looked great with a mullet. I mean, all the greats go through a mullet phase, right?
Were Austin roads always this packed?
No, and back in my day, we had to look for help in this thing called a phone book if we were in a wreck.
Well, now all we have to remember is 4. I like to do it this way.
Hey, I like that.
College football's finally here in the Valley.
V's up.
Hey, when does the game start?
Says here fall of 2025. Well, I have the grill going, so...
We can wait.
Yeah, we can wait.
Get a new 2024 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 Crew Cab for only $39,000 to $995 or take $12,000 off MSRP. Payne Westlaco Chevrolet and PayneGM.com. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
Lo que tú quieres, regardless.
Republic of Texas Concrete and Coatings, your #1 most trusted concrete coatings company in South Texas, serves industrial, commercial, and residential projects.
From kitchens, garages, patios, and pools, we have the expertise for your interior and exterior applications. Whether it's new concrete projects, simple grind and seal, flake systems, or custom stains, our exclusive combination of polyurea and polyaspartic are 4 times stronger than epoxy.
Your #1 most trusted concrete coatings company in South Texas.
Get ready for game day and ready to dominate in the all-new Hummer SUV for just $764 a month with the #1 team in Texas. Bert Ogden Buick GMC in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UT RGV football.
Down
Back now here on Fifth Quarter, presented by Bert Ogden Buick GMC. We're going to get into some district action now, some big-time district games this evening. By now, most of us are familiar with the big district in 15-5A. 3 teams undefeated on the season going into tonight, 2 of them in the Valley facing off. But we'll start with the game between PSJA North and Harland South. These 2 teams expect to be some of the best in the Valley here. PSJA North already with a big lead. Dylan and I are looking to throw, but it is picked off by Brian Garrow, and the Raiders take over possession, looking to add to their already big lead over Harland South here. It's Darren Garcia punching this one into the end zone for the score. The Raiders QB keeping it himself. Flag comes out. They end up going for 2 from the 1-yard line and converting to make it a 29-3 lead. Here, Garcia looking downfield and finding his man short. It's Darren Guerra, and look at what Guerra did on this play. Broke 1 tackle right there behind the ref, and then makes 2 other defenders miss, reaches for the goal line. What a play by Guerra. What an effort to get in for that score, and the Raiders were far from done. This time, Garcia escaping the pass rush, dumping it off once again to a wide open Ethan Guerra for the touchdown. A big win for PSJA North, 42-17 over Harland South. And another big district matchup in this same district, undefeated Flower Bluff going up against Weslaco East. Both teams not only undefeated in district, but undefeated on the season coming into this game. So one team would go home unhappy with their first loss here. It's UTRGV commit Jaden Polcio, who gets a long touchdown to his man Andre Mims. That's 80 yards, and you'll be seeing that QB with UTRGV not only for football but for baseball next year. So we'll see how much time he gets on the field for both those teams. Here on the ensuing kickoff for Flower Bluff, this one is loose, and Weslaco East has some trouble picking it up. Flower Bluff jumps on it, and suddenly it's Flower Bluff football on offense already once again. So the first snap after that kickoff recovery, this is only the 3rd offensive snap of the game, and Palucio connects with his man James Porter, threads the needle there. He might be quarterbacking for UTRGV in the future with throws like that. So 3 offensive snaps into the game, it's 14-0 here. Weslaco East trying to get some momentum. They're going for it on 4th down. They would get it, but that drive would ultimately stall out, and it's Flower Bluff coming back once again. This time, Tyler Simpson gets the carry, and he runs through the Weslaco East defense all the way in for the score. Another touchdown. It's 21-0 Flower Bluff, and then Palucio with the ball here, looking, and he's just going to take off. A 6-yard scamper from the quarterback. He gives a little shrug after the fact, and Flower Bluff, a big win over Weslaco East. They take down the Wildcats 49-14, the final in this one. We're going to stick in this district. Plenty of games from around this district tonight. Brownsville Rivera visiting PSJA Memorial here in the first quarter. Emmy Colunga gets the 10-yard rushing score for the Wolverines, so they strike first and go on top early here. They're going for the extra point, it seems, but guess what? It's a fake. They go for 2, and they get it. So PSJ Memorial trying to use some trickery to get that lead extended here early. It's 8-0 PSJ Memorial. Then Ryan Reyna looking to throw deep downfield. Robert Morales gets by the defense and gets in for the touchdown. PSJ Memorial up big early. Now, it's 14-0 pending the extra point, and they should have faked it again, apparently, because this time it's blocked, and Rivera ends up keeping at least 1 point off the scoreboard on that drive. And Rivera's defense would make another big play later, as here it's intercepted by Jared Gonzalez. Does a great job undercutting the route. A big return for Rivera. But again, the Rivera offense just could not get going against this Memorial defense here. Check this 50-yard field goal out. So after the block extra point, PSJ Memorial's kicker Omar Garcia makes up for it with a long field goal. And this offense would just keep on trucking along. Ryan Reyna taking off down the sideline. A big rush for the QB. He's still going. He's looking to make a play and get into the end zone, but he stopped just short. Not to worry, though, as Reyna would get his chance to finish it off. He just powers up the middle for the touchdown. PSJ Memorial wins this district matchup over Rivera, 33-14, the final. Meanwhile, we are going to now get into a final tune-up game for the Sherland Rattlers and the Los Fresnos Falcons. This was another big one. Two high-scoring offenses. Both of these teams looking to take a winning streak, hopefully, into district play. And Sherland has had 2 straight 50-point games. The question was, could Los Fresnos slow this team down? Here, the Rattlers, Calvin Harris looking to throw. End zone, touchdown. Rattlers. It's Eduardo Mendoza in for the score, and the Rattlers offense keeps on dominating, as we've seen in recent weeks. But Los Fresnos there to answer. Robert Pineda takes off for the end zone and gets in for the rushing score. That would actually give Los Fresnos a 7-6 lead. Calvin Harris looking to answer back, and he finds one of our Channel 5 playmakers from last week, Francisco Gomez. And look at Gomez, so shifty, hard to tackle, hard to bring down, and haul the way in for the score. So Sherland staying with Los Fresnos early, but then the Falcons would really start to pick things up. It's Pineda. Almost gets intercepted, but Stachowiak avoids the tackle, makes some people miss. Look at the juke move, and all the way in for the touchdown. Some impressive play from the playmakers on this Los Fresnos offense. And then Pineda avoids the sack, now looking to take off, and he gets in for the score. So the Falcons up 35-28 at half in an absolute shootout between these two dominant offenses, just like we expected. But Los Fresnos ends up taking the win and dominating the second half. 70 points on the scoreboard. Let's check in with our Gloria Morelia, who had post-game from the field.
Hey KJ, I'm at Leo Aguilar Memorial Stadium. Los Fresnos just beat Sherland 72-33. I am right here with Coach David Cantu. Thank you so much for your time,
my
Coach
pleasure, my
Cantu.
pleasure.
Talk to me about that win, please.
Well, it was a track meet for a while. It was both teams trading blows, and our kids just at halftime, we decided, look, we've got to just if they make a big play, don't dwell on it. Just keep playing hard. And I'd say that's one thing about this team. Can't guarantee victories, nothing like that, but I can guarantee our team's always going to play hard to the final whistle. So that's the best in a nutshell. We had a couple huge plays in special teams too, which helped.
Your offense was amazing tonight, and one of the big factors was your quarterback, Robert Pineda. What can you tell me about just the way he plays in and out every single day?
Well, what you saw here is the way he practices. He practices exactly like this, full speed all the time. And every time he pulls it in practice, he takes it into the end zone. That's just the person he is, and he'll be the first to give credit to everybody else around him. And it's fun to watch him play, though.
Robert, 8 touchdowns. How do you do it? How do you make it look so easy?
I don't think, it has nothing to do with me. I'd have to give it all to my guys. My receivers, man, they block their tail off, and then don't even get me started about my linemen. I can talk about them all day. They block it, and they're there every single day with me. They're blocking, going over what they have to do, their assignments. So I have, the best people around me, the best. And I can.
Robert, you're going into a bye week after that. It's your first district game. How do you guys prepare for that first district game? And obviously having to leave this kind of win behind.
Yes, now we're going to celebrate this one, but tomorrow we'll fix our mistakes on video. Then I guess we get back to practice, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to work hard, get prepared for San Benito, and we're just going to work.
Well, definitely a win that Los Fresnos can feel good about. An incredible performance. 70 points on the scoreboard. They got to feel great about that going into district play, and that should be a very interesting district this season. Obviously going to be a lot of fun. We'll get more into that in shows to come, as that district's going to be one to monitor this season. But let's get into more highlights. It was a record-breaking Thursday night game between Brownsville Veterans and their opponents over at Sherland Pioneers, specifically for the Chargers, and you'll see why in just a moment. Let's get to the highlights between these two teams, the Chargers and Pioneer facing off. This was the first time ever that these two teams have faced off against one another. Here, Pioneer quarterback William Goodlow looking deep downfield, but it's intercepted by the Chargers defense. Tyson Rios gets it, and suddenly Brownsville Veterans takes over. And then it's Storm Montoya doing what he does best, laying his body on the line to get into the end zone for that touchdown. Pioneer fighting back. Marcus Perales with the score to tie it up. It's 7 apiece now between these two teams. Then Brownsville veteran Cesar Belmontes gets the run and into the end zone for the score. 14-7, Chargers lead it. And Storm Montoya this time is going to toss it to his man Alvin Trevillon. He takes off a big-time run, making people miss into the end zone. Another touchdown for the Chargers. They're now up 21-7, but the Diamondbacks looking still to mount their way out of this hole. Goodlow with a 50-yard run. How about that from the quarterback, showing off the Jets? 21-14, the lead is cut to now. Pioneer looking to get in the end zone again. It's Dylan Tijerina. Starts left, but he ends up running all the way. He's got some blockers down with him, and he gets all the way in for the score. So this game's all tied up at 21, but Brownsville Veterans would come back and win it. And not only that, but Storm Montoya would set the school touchdown record for Brownsville Veterans. Let's check in with him after the game and see how he feels.
It means a lot because I've been at this school forever because my grandpa, Larry Gibson, he coached here. So I've been here forever, so it's truly a dream for me.
I mean, does it come as a surprise? No, but there's a lot of things that have to happen for you in order to get there. So he's had some great offensive line, great backs, but that kid works as hard as anybody that I've ever coached. So I'm very proud of him, and congratulations to you, Storm.
A big shout out to Storm Montoya for that huge accomplishment. We'll actually hear more on that next week as Brownsville Veterans, I don't want to give anything away, they might be in the mix to be our game of the week next week. All of that is still to be determined. But when we come back, we have more football action coming your way. A big-time rivalry matchup between two cross-town foes, Donna and Donna North, all facing off against each other. Plus, we'll look more into some of the districts across the RGV. What's going on there and how are things shaping up as we now reach the halfway point of the regular season? That's all coming up on Fifth Quarter, sponsored by Bert Ogden, Buick GMC.
Get ready for game day. Go the extra yard and drive a new Sierra 1500 for just $4.99 per month with the #1 team in Texas, Bert Ogden Buick GMC in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UT RGV football.
In 1984, I won my first multi-million-dollar case. Since then, I've never stopped winning for my clients. I've always worked hard, always fought with uncompromising passion. Want excellent results? Hire the best. I'm Ezequiel Reina. Put my powerful experience and history on your side.
Excuse me, I came in for this offer I saw online.
Let me get my manager.
Hold it! That's a price without add-ons and additional fees.
Do you at least include warranties and oil changes?
Who do you think we are? Charlie Clark Nissan? Get out of here!
Personal foul on the offensive dealer. Unethical conduct. Charlie Clark Nissan takes over. First down.
Orale. Power coverage on our app from the First Warn 5 weather team. Severe weather alerts sent straight to your phone. Live radar so you can see the storm close to you. And daily updates from our team of meteorologists. Be prepared for what's next with the KRGV weather app. Download it now.
The KRGV weather app is sponsored by DHR Health, Payne Auto Group, DLJ Commercial Roofing, Pronto Insurance, and McAllen International Airport.
Get ready for game day and ready to dominate in the all-new Hummer SUV for just $764 a month with the #1 team in Texas, Bert Ogden Buick GMC in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UT RGV football.
Now to the matchup between the two crosstown rivals in Donna. Donna versus Donna North, the Chiefs and the Redskins battling it out. The two schools had some fun with this one before kickoff, even showing some sportsmanship this afternoon. Players, students, and staff from both Donna and Donna North coming together for a unity luncheon to celebrate the bond between these two schools. The school district saying it's important to remember that we are part of one community despite the battle on the field. But of course, once it comes time for game time, that's all anybody's worried about. It's enemy time in those few minutes, those 48 minutes on the field. So a lot of emotion heading into this one. How would it play out? Well, Donna actually got things started early. It's Joel Duran taking off down the sideline off the screen pass, a big-time gain down to the 10-yard line into the red zone, and that's where Ethan Gutierrez would take care of the rest for Donna. A 7-0 lead off of that rushing touchdown. And then Donna looking deep downfield. It's picked off by Prince Johnson. So Donna North thinks they have a big play, but guess what? Offsides called on the defense, so that's erased. And from there, Donna's offense would pick up right where they left off. A big-time touchdown from Dallas Zuniga to Luis Reglado, a 40-yard catch and score. 14-0 Donna leads. This one was actually tied up in the fourth, but in overtime, it's the Redskins taking the victory, 21-14, the final. Meanwhile, the Harlingen Cardinals taking the trip way up north to the San Antonio area, actually the Victoria area, more like. They had a matchup with the Quero Gobblers. Quero actually fumbled here on their first drive. Harlingen's Gerardo Sanchez picks it up, and that sets up the Harlingen offense to take care of business on the other end. Hassan Woolery, he takes it in himself off of the rushing score, and Woolery had himself a big night. Check him out again here. Bouncing off tackles, getting to the outside. A big-time gain for Woolery to set him and his team up on the plus side of the 50. And then Woolery again, this time taking it into the end zone for the touchdown. Harlingen moves to 5-1 with the victory. Oh, actually, they don't. They lose. Harland Falls. Actually, Quero made a big-time comeback in this game. Harlingen was up big, but Quero ends up coming back and taking down the Cardinals. So the Cardinals will hope to bounce back in district play. Now, let's get into some more highlights from around the Valley. St. Joseph Academy, they've been on a tear so far to start this season. They've had some great performances. This time, they're on the road heading to La Feria tonight to take on the Lions. The Lions have had a string of a lot of consecutive home games, and hoping to make it a win here today against St. Joseph Academy, but the Bloodhounds had other ideas here. Gavin Cisneros finds Claudio Torres, and we saw the kind of athlete Claudio Torres was last week. He made some big-time plays, makes one here as he gets into the end zone for the touchdown, but that extra point, it's just off the upright, so only a 6-0 lead for St. Joseph Academy. But here they come back once again, and it's Cisneros taking it himself. How about a 38-yard run for the Bloodhounds QB all the way into the end zone for the score, 13-0 St. Joseph Academy after that touchdown. Now, La Feria looking to answer, but that pass is off the hands of the La Feria player, and it's picked off by J.J. Camarolinga for St. Joseph Academy. So back comes Cisneros, and I promise this isn't a replay, but it's the exact same yardage, a 38-yard touchdown run. Look at him make the defender miss, not once but twice, all the way into the end zone for the score. St. Joseph Academy wins big, 62-13 over La Feria. Tonight at Tom Landry Stadium, Mission Veterans wrapping up non-district play against Brownsville Hanna. Here, Mission Veterans going to start things off as Cameron Sarinanya looking downfield, trying to find his man, Robert Sharp, and he gets him in the end zone for the score. So Mission Veterans strikes first, and after the extra point, it would be a 7-0 lead. Mission Veterans back in the end zone here. This is second down. Cameron Sarinanya looking towards the end zone off the hands of his receiver. So now third down, they got to convert here, or they'll have to settle potentially for a field goal. Sarinanya, a great little wheel route into the end zone for another score is Julian Guerra, and the Patriots end up taking another touchdown, and they go on to win this one over Hanna, 28-7, the final there. In Hidalgo, this is a final non-district game between these two teams, Hidalgo Pirates and the Guya Gators. Here, Guya starting things off. Austin Bazan, he runs for a short gain, but he's stopped short, and this would be kind of a grinded-out game between these two teams. Defense on full display. Another gang tackle there from the Pirates defense, doing a great job slowing down that Guya rushing attack. Guya still trying to get things going on offense. This time Bazan to the outside. He gets the first down here, but then another attempt for Guya goes nowhere. Hidalgo ultimately gets the stop, and then a deep throw here for Brent Suzuruski, but he gets picked off by Hector Galvin, and Guya takes over. Ultimately, this one goes the way of Guya. A tough defensive battle went to overtime, 13-7, the final tonight. Well, up next, a recap of some of the scores around the Valley, and of course, you got to check out the play of the week that's waiting for you after this 2-minute timeout.
Get ready for game day. Go the extra yard and drive a new Sierra 1500 for just $4.99 per month with the #1 team in Texas, Ogden Buick GMC in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UT RGV football.
A student of the week rises to the occasion, like Brianna Cavazos from Harlingen High School.
I really want to inspire young women to, be able to push towards their goals.
They are leaders at their school and in our community.
You get to build those relationships with other students and people that have the same passions and interests as you.
Join us every Wednesday as we showcase these remarkable students. Student of the Week is supported by Bert Ogden Dealerships of the Valley, McDonald's, Vantage Bank, and Lee's Pharmacy.
Finding the certified pre-owned vehicle you want can be a challenge, but Clark Knapp Honda makes it simple. Simple low-rate financing, simple trade-in offers. The best and biggest Honda inventory you'll find in the entire Rio Grande Valley. We put all our certified pre-owned Hondas through a rigorous inspection process and offer extended warranties and service agreements. In short, we make it simple to drive out the pre-loved Honda you've had your eye on. Clark Knapp Honda. Simply better.
Mr. Rubin, sir?
Yes, Jesse?
At Colair, we always try to repair your air conditioner first, right?
That's right.
We don't toss it away just because it's broken, right?
Not if it can be fixed.
We're not quitters, are we, Mr. Rubin?
No, we're not.
We don't give up on someone when they make a little mistake.
What did you do?
Gotta go.
Call Colair because we care.
Did you knock over that stack of boxes in the warehouse?
You believe in me, sir.
Get ready for game day and ready to dominate in the all-new Hummer SUV for just $764 a month with the #1 team in Texas, Ogden Buick GMC in Edinburgh, official sponsor of UT RGV football.
Welcome back into fifth quarter, presented by Bert Ogden Buick GMC. A couple other matters of business to take care of before we wrap things up tonight. First, let's start with our play of the week. Who does it go to? Well, it gets awarded to the Raiders for this play by Darren Guerra. Garcia escapes and finds his man Guerra short, and he has a long way to go if he wants to make the most of this, but breaks the tackle there behind the referee. Then he has plenty of defenders in front of him, somehow makes his way into the end zone for the touchdown, reaching for the goal line. That is your play of the week, and PSJA North takes the victory as well. So great job by Ethan Guerra to get in there. Here's a look at some of the district standings. A lot of teams still waiting to get into district play. Well, a lot of teams in the Valley also already in the thick of district play. PSJA North and Flower Bluff now stand alone as the only undefeated teams in that district, and they're hoping to continue that and so up until their matchup. Big-time matchup coming in Corpus Christi between those two teams. Elsewhere in the Valley, Edinburgh Vella and McAllen Memorial and Nicky Rowe, all 2-0 in district. We'll find out more about how that district shakes out later in week 7 as we come back for another episode of Fifth Quarter then. So thank you so much for watching. Of course, the Port Isabel player and the whole team out there, our thoughts are with you. We hope for a speedy recovery for the player that went down tonight. For Fifth Quarter, KJ Doyle signing off for the night.
The Fifth Quarter, powered by Bert Ogden Buick GMC.
The Fifth Quarter is supported by Bert Ogden Buick GMC.
At Square One Dental Implant Center, we believe that you deserve the smile that brings out your greatest confidence. Our doctors and